Hi everyone, welcome into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and today we are featuring the Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce, and I'm very excited because we're on location, as we always are, out in the community with some of these chambers. And today we're actually at Maddie Williams Neighborhood Family Center, and we have Janet Hooper.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I can't wait to hear all about this facility. I mean, you're like all over on these grounds here.
Well, that's true. We have 2 buildings. We actually have 3 buildings now. We just expanded to have a storage unit on our property, so that's great. We do a ton of stuff for the community.
Like what?
We're one of 8 family centers in Pinellas County. So we're supported mainly by Juvenile Welfare Board, which is your tax dollars at work. But we do have to fundraise a significant amount as well. But we do critical basic needs. So because we help struggling families. And it may be a short-term struggling family, and maybe long-term. It could be an individual that lost their job for a couple months and needed help. But we do critical basic needs: food, clothing, hygiene products, dog food, cat food, diapers. All of that we give away for free to people that live in our service area, which is Safety Harbor, Oldsmar, and Eastern Clearwater, which is 33759 and 33761. Then we also do help with utility support. So if you're a family and you have kids in the house and your water or electric are turned off, it's child abuse. So we try to make sure that nobody's electric or water gets turned off. We don't pay the whole bill. We don't pay every month, but we help and try to keep people in their homes, because that's really important for a family. And then the third thing we do is what we call family support, career development. We have computers they can use. We help them with resume writing. We help them with some training, job training programs. And then the last piece we do is school readiness, school success. This building that you're in right now, which is the DeVito building, we have a school age, we are licensed for school age child care. So we have an after school program and a summer camp program. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. And then we give out backpacks during back to school to 400, 500 kids. We do Christmas, so kids can have a Christmas. Those are struggling financially. The pandemic really threw everybody into a tizzy. Our food pantry grew by over 50%. We bought a refrigerated van so we could go get more food. We actually lease it. So, but then we have also put a community fridge, so anybody can walk in if they're in need of food and get something out of our community fridge to tide them over until our food pantry. Our food pantry is on Thursdays. In the morning, we do one segment in the morning as a drive-through, and then we do one at night for people who are working. Because we have a lot of working families that can't make it.
Of course.
And that's the hard part. And then we do community programs. Like I said, at Halloween, we're the ones giving out books at Halloween down on Main Street, because we believe every kid should have a new book to own to read.
That's
and
wonderful.
They get to pick it out. So we do give out about 1,100 books every year. And so that's really exciting. And then some other things that we have done, during the pandemic, when seniors couldn't get appointments for the vaccines, we held a vaccine clinic here. We did 450 the first time. The second time we did 250. We've done a couple smaller ones recently. On April 30th, we're going to do another one for the 3rd booster, 4th booster, flu shot, or hepatitis A. Anybody that gets a shot gets a $15 voucher to a grocery store, because they're trying to encourage people to be vaccinated. And it'll be right here. So they can make an appointment by calling the center at 727-791-8255.
You have the pulse on this community, don't you?
Yes.
You're just you're like a well-oiled machine with all the information. I mean, this is really fabulous, especially with what the last couple of years have looked like. I'm trying to think, is there anything you have not covered?
Well, I'm trying to
You're
say
doing it all.
Well, you know, we partner with a lot of places. We partner with Publix. We partner with Feeding Tampa Bay. We partner with Hope Village, which is the old RCS. And St. Pete Free Clinic has given us food when we were short food. But during the pandemic, remember when the meat packing plants went down and there was not as much meat? Right. Well, Feeding Tampa Bay and all those places that donate food to all of the food pantries, they didn't have meat. So we worked with a restaurant in Oldsmar. We worked with the Safety Harbor Resort and Spa. They ordered meat for us. We figured out how to pack it appropriately and safely, and then we had meat to give out. But we paid for it, but we got meat to people. Our budget for food went from $15,000 to $54,000.
Wow.
But what was so heartwarming, and I just got to say this, what was so heartwarming is that during the pandemic, when everybody was really struggling, this community stepped up, and they donated a lot of money for food and for unrestricted funds so we could help families. And I'm going to tell you, that is so heartwarming and so gratifying to know that people really cared. They'd see the lines on TV in Texas where there are 3-mile long lines, and all of a sudden we get checks here for people say, we have a food pantry here, we want to support it. And to the community, I say thank you. You were absolutely fabulous during the height of the pandemic. You were here for us. You know, my staff stepped up. We were closed, and we had to figure out a way to provide all the service being closed.
Sure.
And our after-school program, our summer program, didn't start until late, but we had to limit the number of kids we could have in, and we had to add more staff because we couldn't have a person leave if they had to, do something different. We had volunteers from Kiwanis, we had volunteers from Rotary, we had volunteers from my board driving food to kids who are home from school that normally get free or reduced lunch in a partnership with JWB and the school system. So there's a lot of things we had to do. We had to jump through hoops and find different ways to provide service, and we survived.
And you made it.
And we made it. And for that, I'm grateful to everybody that made that possible.
And that doesn't surprise me, because the Safety Harbor Chamber, as many of the chambers, pulled together even outside of a crisis. And so it doesn't surprise me that everybody steps up to the plate, people helping people. It takes a village.
Right.
It takes a village of love and people helping one another. It's the only way to do this.
Right. Well, the chamber helped because at Christmas, when kids didn't have Christmas presents,
Right.
they got the businesses to pull forward and adopt kids. And so that was really great because the business community hadn't really done a lot of that. Some had, but this was a really massive effort, and the
Yeah.
chamber helped spearhead that. And so when I say it's the whole community, it was the whole community that jumped forward to make sure that we could take care of the need.
I love to hear this. Okay, so let's talk briefly about some of the different aspects as far as how does this process go? Walk me through a day for someone that needs help. They call, they come in, they
Right.
sign, they enroll. What's the process?
Well, they come if they need food or they can come the day of the food pantry, and so they walk. Most people, they either call to see if they're eligible because they have to be in our service area primarily, except USDA food we have to give out to any resident in Pinellas County. So we do that once a month. But they can come in. We have a small form that they have to fill out because we have to track numbers for all the grants that we write. And so they fill out the form. A lot of people will come just for food and then realize we have a clothing closet. So they walk into the clothing closet and then they realize, well, I have a baby and I need diapers. Yep, we keep diapers. We have diapers here. Oh, I have a pet. Well, most people didn't think about the pets. Well, we get people to donate dog food and cat food. And if we have it, we give that out. And so anybody that goes to, most people weren't traveling, but if you go to a hotel, they give out those little bottles, right, of shampoo, and most people don't even take them, bring them here. We give them out to people when they come in and need hygiene products. We have people in this community and in the surrounding area that are living in their cars now, and I don't think people realize that, but that is what's happening. If they don't have a car and they don't have a phone, they can't be employed. They can't make it. They can live without a house. They can't live without those two things, and because there's no bus routes to take people to a lot of places to be able to work like it used to be years and years ago. Where's the nearest payphone? The only payphone at Safety Harbor is the one at Folly Farms, and it isn't connected. So, I mean, that's the problem. And so people make choices, and they're tough choices, really tough choices that they have to make. But they come in and they ask for food. We give them emergency food and then tell them when the food pantry is. And so then they come on Thursdays for the food pantry. They see that the clothing closet's there. And we did VITA. We did the VITA tax service for anybody making under $55,000 this year for free. We did people's taxes as long as it was simple taxes. I mean, you don't have 10 investments or whatever, but we did that for free for clients and helped them get the child care tax credits. So,
I mean, I can't think of anything that you have not offered in the community. This is wonderful. And how long have you been doing this?
I've been here for 14 years.
14 years.
14 hard, long years.
What
to
made
be
you
honest.
what made you get involved?
Well, I actually was a professional fundraiser from Michigan. I moved down here in 2003, worked at St. Joe's Hospital in development and worked at the Boys and Girls Club. And then this opening came up, and even though the pay was a lot less, there was a vision and a passion that I had to make a difference. And so, and I'm really grateful for the support I've gotten from the community and how well we've been able to grow this center, because the need's there. You know, if you look at the ALICE report, which is the asset limited viability to determine how much people have extra in spending money, 42% of the people in this area don't have enough money to cover a $400 medical expense or emergency. And that people don't realize that, because you have a lot of wealth, but then you also have a lot of non-wealth. And with the rising prices and the number of seniors in our community, the fixed income is going to really drive up a lot more problems.
I'll tell you, I think everybody's feeling that particular pulse, which is not very comfortable. So thankfully, we have people like you guys that step up to the plate. I mean, you're really stepping up and stepping out in a major, major way.
Right. Well, making the change to getting a refrigerated van really made a huge difference for us in our food pantry.
Now, how does that work?
Well, before we'd go once a week down to Feeding Tampa Bay in downtown Tampa. But when we got a refrigerated van, we could get into the partnership program. And so we were assigned the Publix in Palm Harbor, because the other ones were taken. And we're able to get food that's near spoilage that they can't sell anymore, or they don't think they can sell anymore, and then they donate it to us. And then we're able to go through it. The food that isn't usable, we give to the Dancing Goat Farm and to composters in the area. So we make use, everything gets used, but we're able to get more produce that way and more meat that way.
Yes, makes sense.
And we still get food from Hope Village. And then, like I said, when we're really in need, we can contact the St. Pete Free Clinic and get food from them. So, because food insecurity and food challenged families, they're growing. It's sad to say, but we're one of the few food pantries that give milk, eggs,
Basic
and
staples.
cheese. Right. Most don't give that kind of stuff. They don't give the dairy products. They just give them the staples. We spend the money. Because we're able to fundraise for that money. We're able to give out healthier food, and that's what's important to us.
Might want to mention some of the fundraisers that you're doing. We have about 5 minutes remaining in our segment.
We do 3 major fundraisers. We do Back to School, which will be in June of this year. The dates to be determined. Then we do one in November for our sponsor child. It's called Maddie's Magical Holidays. And then in March, which we just completed, we partner with Kiwanis City Harbor to do the Bands on the Bay, and that portion comes to our food pantry.
That's fabulous.
And then this last Easter service at the Waterfront Park, Kiwanis puts it on, and then they donate the contributions to the food pantry as well.
Very nice.
So that's what we do so far, and hopefully, I'm not a big proponent that events take a lot of time and a lot of effort, as you well know.
Of course.
So we also allow for online donations. In the last few years, that's really grown because we have it available. They can go to our website, mwnfc.org, and they can donate, and they can pick what they want it to go to.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So who's Maddie Williams?
So Maddie Williams was a woman who worked in the food pantry when it was originally down on Main Street. She lived in Lincoln Highlands, and she was the woman that picked up all the kids and got them shoes and all that kind of stuff. So she was always a caring soul. And she moved here when the food pantry moved here with CCO. She saw what we were doing and decided that she just loved the mission. And so she started volunteering for us. She became the heart and soul of the Maddie. We renamed the place after her
Nice.
as a DBA, but she was the heart and soul of the center. She was such a caring and loving individual that really put out a lot of effort. And then I also have to mention Curtis McCoy. He was one of the founders, another person that really saw a vision, really cared about the community, and that's the other building is named after him, after the Curtis McCoy building. So we've had some real champions in the community step forward. This building was originally the Lincoln Learning Center, and that was started by Commissioner Blackshear, who was the first African-American commissioner in Safety Harbor and the first African-American commissioner in Pinellas County. And he started the Lincoln Learning Center. Then this building has changed hands and become different things since then. And when I started here in 2008, the YWCA had a child care center in here, and they left. And I went to the commission, and we get to use it for our programs. It technically belongs to the city, but we have a warranty deed on it. So our youth program is over here. We're able to separate our youth from all the other people that come in for food and everything else. It doesn't interrupt, so we can keep it separate.
That is so fabulous. I could sit and talk to you all day about this. I know we're running out of time and all. And how long has the center been involved with the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, when I came, we were already a member. So we've been a member all that time. In fact, I served with the chamber on its board. I was treasurer. I've been secretary. I was past co-chair. So I believe in the chamber and what it does, and we've renewed every year because it's important. I think the chamber plays an important role in the business community and in the city of Safety Harbor, and always has.
It really does. It really does. And you can attest to the fact that even, like I say, outside of a crisis, this chamber just pulls together with business owners and residents in the community. It's a lovely place to live, and I'm just so honored to sit and listen to what you've been doing. Now, I know we have just barely a minute remaining.
Okay.
You're getting ready to retire. Let's see how that's going to work out for you. You love doing this so much.
Well, I do, and I'm a member of the Rotary Club. I'm a member of the Kiwanis Club, and member of the Chamber and the Chamber in Oldsmar. But, you know, there comes a time in everybody's life when they have to make a change. And for me, you know, I'm going to be 72. And I'm not old, but I still want to, sometimes you just want to, I'll still work 10 to 15 hours doing something, I don't know what, but it's time that somebody can take it and take it to the next level.
Well, good for you. You've certainly made a big difference. I mean, you've made like major strides. In how many years you've been here?
14
years.
14 years, yes.
And I bet you've had your challenges with it,
Oh,
up, down,
always.
sideways, and all of that.
Well, they always say when you're the executive director, everybody thinks it's at the top. It's really at the bottom, right? And
I
Susan will tell you
understand.
the same thing at the chamber. Everything falls downhill on you, and you've got to solve
that's
it.
right.
And so, been a lot of challenges over the years, but I'm really proud of how it's grown and how much service it's been able to provide for this community. So
You
I'm
should
real
be.
thrilled.
You should be. And I'll tell you, if you or you know someone that is struggling out there in this community, the Safety Harbor area, do give this gal a call. Janet Hooper, you are amazing. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host featuring the Safety Harbor and the chamber that brings us the best of the best when it comes to businesses. And I'm so excited to have back by popular demand, we happen to have Kay Butler and Eileen Crowley from Candlewood Suites in Safety Harbor. And I'm so glad to see you again. I recognized you from the last time.
I recognized you too. Thank you so much for having us back again.
We're happy to be here.
Tell us what's going on. I know you're just booming the business now.
We
Yes,
are.
we are.
It never really slowed down for us, thank God. So now we are almost 2 years in. Our hotel has been there in June. It will be 2 years, and it never stopped. As I shared with you before, all through the pandemic, the community has been extremely supportive. The local businesses, and then the traveling people coming in. So it's just been very crazy for us. Very crazy for
I
us.
bet.
Super busy.
So, yeah.
I bet. So what's going, I know you notice a big difference. I mean, after all, we all know what the last couple of years has looked like.
Yes.
So this must be so refreshing for you. And you had said that business never stopped. It just kept on going. People want to get out. They want to get going, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And much of our business has been people that are here for a particular reason. So it could be project business, it could be something with their company, or traveling nurses. So it's been long-term stays, which is what we specialize in.
Yes.
So for that, it's a benefit because we don't have that constant turnover. And then we do have our travelers that are just coming in just to visit the beautiful area of Clearwater, and the
course.
beaches and stuff. So
Of course.
yeah. So
Let's tell everybody exactly where you're located, because if I remember correctly, you're in an area that just touches all the different areas when it comes to entertainment, the beaches, the airport. I mean, you're just in such a good area.
we are. So we are located close to the Safety Harbor area. We are at the corner of McMullen Booth Road and Enterprise. So we're maybe 6 miles, 7 miles to the beach. As you well know, Safety Harbor offers so much. So we always gear our guests to come down to downtown. That's one of our biggest things that we have our front desk do is push those people to come down and enjoy our waterfront community. There's a lot in Pinellas County, but we're only 2 miles from that. So that's where they go, Felipe Park and all those beautiful places that we offer right here. We do try to contain the guests as much as we can in this area.
You know, that's what I remembered most, is containing the guests in the area. There is so much to do in the Safety Harbor area. That's why I love doing the Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce, because we bring in so many businesses. There's so many events going on.
Right.
I mean, within walking distance from one business to another. I mean, the shops galore, the different events that you have, bands coming in and playing, all kinds of different foodies going on. It's so fabulous.
Yeah.
And we let people know there is 72 restaurants in a 3-mile radius of the hotel. We have a mall that is located less than half a mile. And also we have Felipe Park, which we are pet friendly, so we try to make sure they go down and enjoy the waterfront for that as well.
See, that's important because people are traveling with their pets.
They
Yes.
are. They are.
Yeah.
So we are a pet-friendly hotel. So
Yes.
in our area, there is a little bit of walking for the pet, but just go on down to Felipe Park and it's beautiful down there. So like I said, we definitely try to incorporate our hotel with Downtown Safety Harbor and try to be a good partner
Right.
with the businesses down here and with the Chamber of Commerce. So yeah.
Exactly. How long have you been a member with the Chamber?
Since we opened, that was the immediate thing that I wanted to do. So we've been a member for going on
2
2
years.
years with Safety Harbor Chamber. Yeah.
So you know that works.
Yes.
It's
It works.
It's a good
hands
partnership.
down, it works. It works, hands down. Yeah.
Have both of you always been in the hotel industry?
Yes.
Yeah.
31 years for me.
31 years? You can't be even that old to be 31 years.
I know.
And neither one of you got. How long have you been in the business?
About 35.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
So collectively,
Oh my goodness.
you know,
So what made you go into? What is it? The people thing, being involved with people, or
I enjoyed talking with the people and interacting, learning things from people from other countries, other cities and towns. So we get a lot of interaction and we enjoy it. So
that's really.
most of
that's
us
it.
started really, really young. If you were in Florida, hospitality has always been the
big thing.
major revenue driver for Florida. So for me too, the same thing. I started off really young. I, started off as a bartender in a hotel and just kind of moved along, and
Yeah.
here I am.
And here you are.
Yes, I started as a housekeeper and moved up.
See that? Well, when you find something that feels really good and you're passionate about
Yes.
it, and you can tell when people have heart. We talk about it takes a village. It really does.
It does.
It's
And
like
this
raising kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Raising
It's-
Cain.
It's really just being part of the whole situation and making it move forward with just a wonderful group of people. So tell us about the suites. Tell us what you have to offer for people that want to come in and how they work.
So our hotel has 72 rooms, and every one of our rooms offers a full kitchen. So you have a full-size refrigerator, a microwave, a 2-burner stove, a dishwasher, the pots, the pans, everything that you need to make your stay comfortable. We are not residential. You're not allowed to live there, but many of our guests, as I mentioned, are on assignments. They might be here for 12 or 13 weeks. So that type of setup works really well. So originally we were going to be an 82-room hotel, but our ownership and our contractor decided to make it 72 rooms to give a little bit more space. So we're bigger than the average size hotel room
okay.
because again, people are here, and a lot of our guests work from the hotel, so they need that long desk to set up their laptops and this, that, and the other thing. So, so they did a great job, and we are IHG, which is Intercontinental Hotel Group, which is a worldwide group of hotels, and we are managed by them and owned, operated by them.
And also, we would like for people to know that you can wash and dry for free at our location. So all you have to do is provide your own soap. We do have a nice-sized gym. We have a pool. We have a gazebo area where you can cook on the grill as well to make
Nice.
everything comfortable. We have a linen locker, so we have people that wants to cook with crock pots and things of that. So we have different things that we can offer to them through the linen locker. They just rent it out, like just sign it out, and it's theirs for that time frame that they're there.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Not many people travel with a crock pot.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the George Foreman.
They might have a need
Then we
for it.
have a larger coffee pot for them. Some people like to sit in the room and enjoy coffee all day, so we make sure that we provide things for them. We also have DVDs, games for children. What else is in the Linda? Quite a few
Partridge
things.
in a pear tree, we have it. And if we
gonna
don't,
say,
we'll
is there
run out to the
any-
store and get
Is
it.
there anything that you aren't covering there? I mean,
No,
it's
we try
very
to-
inviting.
We
Yes,
try
we-
to make it very convenient for the guests because you don't travel with everything, obviously.
Right.
But then you get there, you're on a 12-week assignment, you're like, I need something.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to need it now. I don't
And
want to
then
go
the
buy
cupboard
it.
has items for breakfast, lunch, and dinner inside of it as well. So you don't even have to go across the street to Public, which is located, 50 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's handy too, because
Yes.
you always want to run out and get. There's always something that you
Yes.
need, right?
Yep.
That is
So that
fabulous.
works out really well for us. But yeah.
And now, do you have rooms for meetings and different things like that for larger, or is that strictly hotel?
Strictly hotel.
Strictly hotel. We do not have meeting space. So we do offer group blocks for events. So we work with people that are getting married, or if there's a convention in the area and they need a group of rooms, they can come to us. So
Great.
we do offer that. We just don't have the actual meeting space there.
But that's fine. What did you say earlier about the size of these rooms too, and the fact that when people can come and stay 12 weeks
Yes.
if they need to be, because I guess sometimes they come on business and they don't realize they're going to end up being here. On a
Absolutely.
It depends on why they're here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It depends
yeah.
on why they're
We
here.
run into that quite often.
We do, yeah.
I
People
bet.
want to extend their stay all the time. So, we work with the military as well. So they might have some training going on, and that could be a 3-month thing, where they're here for 3 months because they're training. We work with some of our local sports. So they're also long-term people because they're here for practicing and training and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So we're contracted with some of the sports around in the area. So yeah, so everyone's been really supportive of the hotel for the 2 years that we've been here, and they love it and they keep coming back. And those are, the people that, we work really hard to maintain and retain and all that kind of stuff.
And so you never shut down or anything, and I remember you telling what you were doing when people were coming in with safety as far as cleanliness and hygiene and all this crazy stuff that we all went through in the last couple of years. So you pushed through that as well.
Yeah, and the protocol still stands with IHG because it's not required to wear masks. That did not give hotels the leeway to say, okay, well, you don't have to clean as deep or as using the same chemicals. So with IHG, it remains the same. The IHG way of clean is the protocol, period, hands down. and we are measured on that by IHG inspectors that come into the hotel. So. And we pass every time, so that's really good.
I'm glad that you. I'm glad that you mentioned
We don't
that.
sleep the night before, but we
Right.
pass every
Yes.
time.
Well, that's kind of typical,
Yeah,
right?
right,
You just get a
right.
little, antsy, and then when it's
Yeah.
But this is really a good protocol for people like yourself that are thinking of coming and staying here at this hotel, because that is your standard protocol.
Absolutely.
It wasn't COVID and
No.
above or below. It is your standard protocol.
It was tweaked for COVID by IHG just to add some different chemicals that they thought would be a better fit for it, and then because it works so well.
Now it's embedded in the hotel.
Yeah, in
That's
all of their hotels across the world.
Across the world. Yes.
That's really,
Yeah.
really great. So what have we skipped over anything? Because I love hearing about this. You make me want to come stay there, and I'm just right up the road a bit.
We have a lot of local people that stay with us because they just want to get away, like you say.
Right.
We do offer Florida resident rates, and that they can get that online. And then you can call us directly, and depending on what our availability is, we can customize a rate for you if you're just looking to get out of your house for a while and want somebody else to make your bed.
I've had moments like that.
Me too. Me too.
Get away.
We've stayed at our own hotel just to be there. But the other thing that I think I wanted to bring up too is our staff has been with us, our key players on our team since we opened.
Yes.
So if you're an employee with IHG and if you're just coming into the industry, we love to try to mold these people into understanding that this is a career. The hospitality industry is a huge career, and there's certain things that are never going to go anywhere, and hotels are one of them. So we take pride on taking some of our younger staff that is just coming into the industry that are working with us and really zooming in on them and giving them all the training and the education and the guidelines that they need to keep moving up within their career, within their ladder. So that's something that we offer with employment is, if they're interested in making this a career, we'll start them on that path. And we have a couple of people that we're working with now in our hotel that definitely are going to be somewhere someday, and we're putting them there. So,
And so how do you recognize that? They just show that initiative.
a lot of it's personality, wouldn't you say? Like some of them are just, hospitality is a very personable hospital. It's a business where you have to have that face and that smile all the time. And some people are just there, and it's just like it. And I think Kay and I just, from years of experience, we do recognize that person immediately, and then we just start talking to them and like, what is your goal, and what where do you want to go with this?
Right, and that's part of the questionnaire when we asking them when they come in for an interview. What is your 5-year goal? I mean, do you see yourself growing with the company? Because some people don't realize that the hospitality industry is a great industry to be in.
It's always going to be there.
Yes, always.
And look where you all started.
Yes,
Yes.
it's the truth, and we always use that as an example. And with a company the size of like IHG, they offer so much training for these
Yes.
people. So much training for people. Even us. I mean,
We
we're
still training.
They make us. We have to take class. We have to go to one next
month.
week or next month or something. It's constant. It never, because it always changes. So it's there for them. So that's really what we try to focus, so that we give these young folks hope of look, there's things out there for you. And
Well, job security is a big thing, and to know that the hospitality industry is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
No, it's
and
not.
especially now, I'm guessing that you probably have been even busier than before this last couple of years.
We
just
have.
because people want to get out, they want to go somewhere.
yeah, it's true. It's very, very true.
Yeah.
And so we try to make it exciting for people when they get here, which is why we push downtown Safety Harbor and that kind of thing. But yeah, so it's all working out for us pretty well.
That's so great. I love to hear success stories. This is
So we are talking about our ownership. I can't disclose too much, but we are within the next few years, opening another hotel.
Nice.
So it'll be probably the same brand, IHG, just a different. It won't be a Candlewood, obviously, because we already have one. But yeah. So
That
we're
sounds
excited about that.
exciting.
Yeah, we're excited about that. We want to work harder and harder and more and more.
And that's
that shows your passion.
Yeah.
That
Oh, yes.
shows that
we're half crazy, one or the other.
Well, I think we're all a little half crazy here after the last couple of years.
Right?
We survived it, though. We
did.
survive
We
it.
did.
So what are some of your favorite things that you love to get into besides everything?
As far as work goes?
Well, for me, I like the interaction with the pets. That is one of I am. I
We
don't
tease her
own-
about her
yes.
interaction with the kid. Get off the floor, kid.
That would be me.
So for me, that's a big thing because pets are just like your kids.
Yes.
You know, and I'm a big person on my family, my grandkids, and when I can interact with the pets as well, you know, it just brings a lot of joy for me. I make sure I have all types of treats for them at all times.
Aw.
Small and large dogs, all the same to me. I love them all. And that's the most enjoyment that I have. If I can go out and just touch one pet and he's smiling back at me or she's smiling back at me, it makes my day. It makes me want to come to work because I know other than my staff, I have them to love me as well.
Oh, that's precious. And you know, the clientele, the pet owners, they
love
pick
that.
Oh,
up
yes.
on
Oh, they
that.
love
Oh,
that.
yes.
Yes.
They love that.
Exactly. How about you?
Mine is more of the elderly people. I love the little couples that comes in, and I get to. My office is located where everybody has to walk by, and they'll stop and we chat. And I love saying, "How long have you been married? Oh, 60 years. How did you meet?" You know, I
Yes.
love those
So-
stories, and I do that in my personal life too. I ask people, "How did you meet?" Because I just like to hear how people that are been
How
married
they
for
making
60
it,
years,
yes.
how they met. You know, and it's usually great stories. He was in the service, and she showed up at a dance, and you know, I love those
Yes.
things.
I know.
So I kind of gear towards the older folks that come to visit us. That's who I like to chat with, and the people that come that work we don't see very often because they get up in the morning and they go on their project, whatever they're here for. But
Sure.
then we have, you know, the elderlies that are kind of wandering around the hotel,
And they want to talk.
They
and they
want
wanna
to
visit.
talk.
They want to
totally
share
wanna
their
talk.
stories.
Yeah, they want to talk, and they
Yes.
love it when you ask about, you know, anything about what their life was.
But we try to make a point to touch and meet with all of our long-term staff because it's important for us to know how they're enjoying their stays and how we can make things. They make the difference of how the next guest getting an experience through theirs.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I often say, it takes a village.
It
Yes,
does.
it
It
does.
takes a
absolutely
village,
does.
and it takes a family, a business family, to bring that all together, to bring it full circle, so that you may want to go back again. I mean, you've already got me wanting to even come for one night.
Please
I told
do.
you, please
Yes,
do. Yes.
yes, that is
Yeah.
so exciting. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us
No,
today.
thank you for
again.
having us
How long
again.
has it been? When was the last time you were here?
I think it was last year.
Was
or-
it?
I can't
A year
remember
and
if
a
it
half,
was.
almost a year
We were
and a
trying to
half, yeah.
remember that on the way.
Yeah,
was
it's
it
like-
before the pandemic? After the? It was. I think it was
during.
right after the pandemic. So I'd say last year.
Oh, maybe, because it hasn't, because I recognized you right
Yeah.
away. So
We've only
this-
been here for 2 years, so it had to have been last year. It couldn't have been.
That's true.
You know.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and
It's always
continued
good to see you.
success.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back into my Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is Susan from the Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce. I'm so excited to see you again.
Good morning, Barbara. Pleasure to be here.
It is, and it's such a great day out in the neighborhood. There's a beautiful breeze. It's not humid. It's the perfect day to live in Florida. I
Yes,
promise.
We call those Chamber of Commerce days.
Yeah, exactly. Get out and about with
We've
all the
had
activities.
a lot of those lately, yeah.
Yeah, we really have. And I see that you have some pamphlets in your hand that you can't wait to talk about.
I do. We're really proud of these two publications from the Chamber. We just released our 2022 business guide. Every Chamber member is listed in this guide, and they also have opportunities to purchase additional ad space. but we want this to be a resource for the local people. We actually have 5,000 of these hand-delivered to homes in Safety Harbor.
Nice.
So that the residents in the local area will use this as a resource when they need products or services. And then along with it, there's a downtown map. This is our most distributed piece from our visitor center at 200 Main Street. It has all the businesses that are downtown categorized, so people who are visiting can just pick one up and find their way around town and find what they need. So both these items are actually put in a little bag and hung on doorknobs in Safety Harbor. And then an additional 5,000, so a total of 10,000 of the business guides are published each year.
That is really nice. And this just came out.
Yes, they both just came out and were just updated.
So as being a member of the Safety Harbor Chamber of Commerce, it's not just paying your dues. It's so many different facets of being a member, a business owner and a member, and getting involved. That's the key right there, is getting involved too.
That's true. We offer a lot of benefits. We're not just a networking organization. We do offer those opportunities, two regular networking opportunities every month, a morning and an evening one, and then every other month we do a luncheon. But we offer different types of exposure because we realize that not every business owner can get out to network.
Yes,
there are a lot of
exactly.
small businesses, they're tied up in their space, and so the exposure from the visitor center is huge. We see about 10,000 walk-ins a year in our visitor center at 200 Main Street. They can have brochures and business cards there. And then the website exposure is huge because every member gets a login and password to their own back-end part of our website. So when someone's searching on our website for their type of business, their page pops up that they have populated, and if they've really maximized their profile, it really helps their search engine rankings.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking with the people that are coming to Florida and moving their businesses, as you would know even more than I, with the people selling their homes, coming down here, trying to find a home, right?
Yeah.
And start another
Trying.
business or
Yeah.
transfer a business, or maybe they already started it last year and now, they're picking up more roots here and everything. It's so good to be able to have like that. I always keep saying that it takes a village. It truly does. And you're like a main source for the town, a main source.
We have people coming in every day who, first of all, they'll say, I didn't know this little town was here. And then they come and they fall in love with it and they want to live here. So I would say our biggest request in the visitor center is for real estate.
Yeah.
And we have many real estate members. So we have a little spreadsheet that we hand out and give all of those realtors some exposure. And yes, it's a very popular place to want to live.
Yeah, it's quaint. It's got the charm. If you love to shop, there's plenty of shopping. If you're a foodie, if you love to eat
Lots of food,
and
yeah.
oh my goodness, because we've had so many on-site shoots with the chamber. I mean, and you really always set up a great lineup. And I love it when we go to these places and we can expose the restaurants and some of the different shops and all of that. And it gives you a chance to actually see parts of Safety Harbor from where you're at.
Yes. I think we're kind of becoming kind of a little food mecca. We have
Yes.
so many places now
Yes.
and more coming. So it's a great place.
And it's a nice collection too. I mean, coffee shops, you name it.
Variety.
The bakeries, just anything and everything all in one concentrated little location, but there's a lot of it. So I know you're going to love it when you come here.
Yes.
Any special events coming up?
Well, we always have our monthly third Friday, which has become huge. It's a 9 blocks street festival, live entertainment on every block, many vendors, lots of food. It's just become a really, really popular event, and it draws people in from outside the town, which is nice. And, the Chamber's next big event is kind of a ways off. We do our annual Art and Seafood on the Waterfront in February, so we're starting to plan that for next year. But, other organizations put on events around town too, so there's always something going on.
There's always something going on as well. And of course, you're right by the Safety Harbor Spa.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yes.
They have all kinds of different events, and that's a lovely place to go.
Yes.
They've been on the show before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We love the spa. We do a lot with the spa, and they have that beautiful back patio now by the water with the beautiful view of the water.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's a nice place to hold an event.
It is, and even going there for like a lunch or something.
Yes.
That works so nice. So what else is coming up?
Oh, we have a lunch and learn coming up.
Oh, really?
In May. And we're having a speaker from one of our newer members about cybersecurity. So we always
Ooh.
look for different topics that our business owners, can benefit from. So we're looking forward to that. We do a lunch and learn about every other month.
That's nice.
Yeah, and we hold it at different places, different restaurants around town.
And where's this one going to be?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Well, we can let them know.
Yeah, that's to be determined, I think, right now. But
So when they go on to your website, they can also see the different activities and all.
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a calendar on our website, and it's also a community calendar. So you'll see things that not necessarily chamber events, but our members can post their events on the calendar too.
Yeah.
But yes, you can definitely keep up with what the chamber's doing by going on our website. And if you're a business owner who's interested in joining the chamber, you can join the chamber directly from the website.
That's good. That's good. And I always say this is joining is not just paying your dues, because when you
Yes.
join, and we've been doing these chamber shows for quite a number of years, and I know you have come in the last few years, but everybody, it becomes a family. It's like a family of business owners, and everybody just helps one another. And it's so nice to see that, because that's what's required in business, really.
Right. And that's what I love about the job, is being able to offer a variety of ways that a business can get more exposure, and you can kind of tailor to each business, what types of things would most benefit them. Because not every business owner can get out to network. Not every business owner cares about, social media coverage or whatever. But there's something for everyone. We can kind of plug you in where you need to be. That's why we offer so many different ways. Here's another way. At our visitor center, when someone comes in and says they're new to the area, we have welcome bags, and they're full of literature or promotional items from our members. So it's another way that our member businesses can get exposure to the new
Yes.
people in town.
Yes, exactly. I love that. I know when I moved down here from up north, what did they call it up north? A welcome wagon or
Yeah,
something like
welcome
that.
wagon.
Yeah.
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 Actually, they're members. There is still welcome wagon.
Is there? Is it really?
There is, yeah. It's more like a coupon booklet, I think, now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So when's your next band event? I mean, you have events where there's like
Bands.
more than
Every
one
third
band
Friday.
playing. Is it so that's this?
We
Wait a
just
minute.
had Third Friday. It was early this year.
Oh, was
So
it?
the first of the month was a Friday. So the 15th was the third Friday.
But it was the
Which
second
was-
Friday?
It was really the third Friday.
Okay.
But it was early. The earliest it could possibly be.
Earliest. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
But there's so many. The chamber actually hires the gazebo. The center of the event is our gazebo downtown
Oh,
at
that's
4th
so
Avenue.
beautiful.
So we do hire entertainment for that. But it's the merchants who provide all the entertainment for every block has something live.
Yeah.
And there's stages. The 100 block, Screaming Jalapeno and Barfly go together and sponsor a stage on the 100 block. Bassano Cheesecake does a stage at the 500 block. The 300 block has a courtyard now where it's seating, and Southern Fresh has entertainment going on. So there's places to just grab some food along the street and sit down and listen. All the way up to Harbor Bar, they always have a nice lineup of live entertainment. There's something on every block.
There's so much. It's almost like you need more than one day, right?
Yeah.
And when does
But
it
it's
start?
every month. So
It's every month. So
Yeah.
what time does it start?
6 o'clock. That's from 6 to 10.
Okay.
So the street is closed from 4:30 on to give the vendors time to set up. And then the street closes back up at 11. Everything's buttoned up and put away. It's quite an undertaking. The city helps us. They're a great help with us.
Good,
you know,
good.
they hire the sheriffs that are there for us and help us close the street. And they have the city staff that helps us with the event. So it's kind of a partnership. And then, of course, we have our presenting sponsors for that event that are very instrumental in helping us put it on. That is Rogan and Associates and the pub at 8th Avenue. They co-sponsor the event.
That's nice. There are some events that you start almost right after an event ends, right? For the following year?
Well, that's true. I mean, it's a daily thing. We get calls of people who want to be in the event. You do need to be a chamber member to be in the event as a vendor, or a nonprofit, or a downtown merchant. So we really want our businesses to profit from this.
Of course.
And then the city has offered an option to wet zone the street, which means that you can buy your alcoholic beverages at a bar or restaurant and walk up and down the street with it within the event footprint. So the bars and restaurants are getting all the alcohol sales downtown,
very nice.
which is nice, yeah.
And there are such lovely restaurants down
Yes.
here, because we've made our rounds with My Chamber TV with some of them, and ooh, they're just so nice. I
Yeah.
mean, very elegant. You can eat outside, you can eat inside.
And they're small businesses, they're eclectic, there aren't chains. And, when you're patronizing a small business like that, you are really, really helping somebody out. So it's a nice, quaint atmosphere.
It certainly is. It's exciting to know, and I'll never forget. Well, Safety Harbor is one of my favorite places.
I think
really,
I've heard that before.
I really wanted to move there at one time. Well, we ended up in Tarpon Springs, and that's fine up there. But there's just something, I don't know. When you come to Safety Harbor, it just grabs your emotional heartstrings, and you just want to stay here. I bet you're noticing a lot of people trying to move into this area too.
Yeah, we really have. It's a very much request. Biggest request when they come in our visitor center. But it's getting harder and harder to find something in Safety Harbor, and of course the real estate market is skyrocketing. So, but it's a nice balance between quaintness and we're also being progressive.
Yes. Yes.
And that's the challenge that the city has to maintain that balance, but I think we do it pretty well.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, you do. In fact, my friend just, she doesn't live around here, but she just moved into close to downtown because she's had a whole lifestyle change and she wants to be where it's happening. And that's where we're at with Safety Harbor. It's definitely happening.
Yeah, it's nice to be within walking distance of the downtown. And we see a lot of people have golf carts and they make their way downtown in their golf carts. So that helps.
And where do they go to park their golf carts?
You park wherever you can find parking.
And that's fine.
Parking is free in Safety Harbor, which is nice. When we have an event, it might be a little bit of a challenge to find parking, but you can always find it somewhere.
Sure.
Might not be right on Main Street, but you might have to walk a short distance. But I always say you can always find parking in Safety Harbor.
Yeah, you can. I've never had a problem coming down here at all.
Check out the side streets.
But even if you can't park up close to whatever the event is, I mean, it's so beautiful. It's a lovely walk. You get to discover all the wonderful things around here.
Well, that's true, and that helps the businesses. You get to see what else is here. So, yes.
It's exciting. It is. How long have you been with the Chamber?
8.5 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you always been involved in this industry?
Not really.
No?
I owned a small business before I was employed by the Chamber, and I was a member of the Chamber and on the board of the Chamber. And our Chamber needed some kind of rejuvenation. They didn't have an executive director at the time. The board was kind of running the Chamber, so it needed a lot. So
So you stepped up.
and it was kind of a culmination of all the different things that I've done in my career, all wrapped up in one job.
Nice.
So a little light bulb kind of went off in my head. It's like, yeah, I might like to do that.
Well, good. And,
So
and
I
8 years
applied.
later, I guess it worked.
Yeah, we've grown.
Yeah.
We had 180 members back then, and now we're almost at 400.
Nice.
So we've grown, and we've done that by adding benefits. I mean, you have to have something to offer.
Yes.
And by taking care of your members, which cultivates the renewals,
It
and that's how you
really
grow the
does.
chamber. Really, you're not out knocking on doors saying join the chamber. You're making sure your members are happy because the members are recruiting members, which is nice.
Yeah, and they see how it goes. What are some oh gosh, we're down to the last minute almost. What are a couple of the things that you like to really project to new members coming on board?
Just the fact that we have something for you, no matter where you are with your business. We have, if you can't come out, like I said, we have things that give you exposure, the website exposure, the visitor center exposure, use the welcome bags. But like you said, they have to step up and they have to utilize the benefits. We can offer all kinds of
Yes,
things,
yes.
but they have to take advantage of them.
Sure.
The last thing we want to hear is, oh, I joined the chamber and I got nothing out of it.
I know. I
So
know.
we bend over backwards to make sure everybody gets something,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to put some skin in the game, basically,
You
is what you got to do.
It's an investment in your business.
And I've heard from chamber members where they have been in a chamber and they said, "Oh, it didn't do anything for me." My first response is, "Did you get involved?" Well, I couldn't do the. And then they'll turn around and join a chamber, maybe join your chamber, and then they do get involved and they see the difference that it makes. Susan, you're a delight. I love Safety Harbor. Love you. Love the chamber, and love
Thank
my
you,
chamber
Barbara.
TV. We'll
Thank
see
you
you
so
next
much.
month, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.